Well, you join us here now as we're just about to enter qualifying here for ATA Round 10 F1 Division here at the home of F1, the actual home of F1, Silverstone. Join me as always in the comms box as the one, the only, the fat man himself, Martin. Say hello.
Is that just my constant intro now?
Yes. Yes it is.
Oh, okay.
So, how are you feeling about this race then, Martin?
I'm hoping. Well, how am I feeling? I'm feeling it's going to be a good race. Mainly because last night was pretty boring.
I'm not gonna lie, last night was very, very boring. Even though what happened to me, it was still very, very boring.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot going on last night. So
Yes.
I mean, I think there was a battle for like second, but that was about it.
That's
So,
about as spicy as it
hopefully,
got.
so hopefully tonight, a bit better than that.
Yeah, hopefully we can actually have a decent battle between some of the top guns. As you can notice, there's not many people here tonight. Some people have unfortunately had prior things. Like sort of Ice the Best, who is in the Ferrari. Craig Senna, he's not here tonight as well. Same as V Leafy. I don't know what's happened to some of them, like V Leafy. We don't know. No, we do have both Mercedes, so we do have Switch and Optical, Switch and Digital. We have both Hasses, as we have Skyline filling in from Mansell, as he's not here as well. But this should be good, as we do have Master Optical G, who's the first man out on track in the Renault. He's not been here for the past couple of weeks, but this is his return back tonight, I believe. I've not been streaming for the past couple of weeks, so I'm
No,
not
I think he's been there.
Fair enough.
I think he's been there. I think you're mistaken there, mate.
Okay.
Yes, he is first man out on track, so he'll be the first one to set a lap for everyone to beat.
Yeah, as we've seen last night, it was quite fast. People were getting 128s. We could potentially see potentially a 127 if some of the drivers are going quick enough. But I believe it's just going to be low 128s.
I have heard some people do 127s in their practice. Like my driver Bacon Yarm did do a 127.9 in his practice, so we might see 127s.
Yeah, we could potentially see 127s, but I think it's going to be low 128s.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you too much there. Master Optical is in sector 3 at the moment. Oh, he is on a lap as well. I must have missed the start of his lap.
So as we have Master Optical G coming across the line now, we'll take a little lap with him as he comes through the turn 1. It's a very flat out corner here. It's just flat out until you hit the braking markers about 75 metres from the turn. Turn in, it's fast turn 3, then it's a slow turn 4. I actually spun it here quite a few times in qualifying and practice. Very slick as you're coming out now from H-Ray onto the balancing straight, open up the DRS, climb up into 7th and into 8th gear, hard down as you come up to Brooklands as you break about 75 metres, turn in. It's a very late apex here, you can get as much run off as you come around Luffields. Very low third gear, 4th gear as you come up through the gears now as you come out of Woodcote. And now my favourite part of the track, you come around past the old start finish line as they used to use back in the day. Now, Cops, it's flat here. If you're brave, you do not lift. You are planted all the way around here as you come out into Maggots and Beckett's, flat as you like. Then break down into 6th here, then drop down 1 gear into 5th as you're coming out of Chapel. Power on, coming out, and onto the higher straight, open the DRS. As he's climbing up into 8th gear, he's going to be flat. Braking about 75, maybe just after 100. Turns in here into Club. Nice little turn and runs a little tad wide, gets on the power nice and early. Gets on the brakes as he's coming up into into Vale. And as he's powering up, this will be the end of his lap as he comes out the final corner and he sets the benchmark. It's a 1 minute 30.2, which some of the guys at the back were in the GP2 field were there was only 2 of them that set 30s, the rest of them were all 29s and 28s, so that potentially has room for improvement from Mastercore Optical G from that one. So as we see him now, is he's set, yeah, JJ Gamer's just set the fastest lap there with 123.
I think Skyline is out of qualifying.
Yeah, he's out of qualifying. I didn't see what happened there. Was that a terminal?
I'm not sure. Let's have a look. See if I can get to it. The race director. Incident. That was terminal damage.
Oh, so he's lost it somewhere. Was it a
It doesn't look like lap? People are having issues exceeding track limits. So that could be a big part of qualifying.
Yeah, I've not actually seen that yet, that someone's did track limits.
As I'm going through it, JJ Gamer currently has fastest. Switch is in 3rd at the moment on the softs with a 29.7, so it's not a bad attempt there on the softs.
As Elite Ryan goes top with a 28.9. 3 tenths ahead of JJ Gamer there. As you can see there on the left hand side of the screen, there's 6 minutes 40 left on the clock, and it's, yeah, we're getting out of the territory where I think most of the fast times are going to be set, as we see Michael with a 1:28.0. So I definitely think now we're going to get a 1:27 from one of the other guys like Trex, Lucky, potentially even the BTS boys. Sorry, the BST boys, I should say, sorry.
Yeah, it's interesting that the BST boys have both decided to go out on the softs. I wonder if they'll come out and do another lap, or whether they'll be happy with starting on the softs and playing the slightly more endurance game.
Yeah, because the potential may go faster, but Switch does improve on his lap time there. And Digital is up on his time in Sector 2 as well. You see Digital come through with Maggots and Beckets. He does have, I think, that's Elite Ryan just ahead of him though. So he should hopefully get out of his way if he's not on a fast lap. As we do see people improving as the laps and the time does tick down.
Yes, so we have just over 5.5 minutes. So I think this is where you'll see people start coming into the pits, putting on new set of tyres and getting ready to go out and do their final laps.
As you say that, Digital's actually just made a pit in. So I think they'll go into the supers. I think they're just getting a banker in to see how the setup is, then they're going to smash it on this one. Turn up the wick and hopefully... Yeah, turn up the wick and hopefully they can hit the ground running. As we see Lucky that's in the Red Bull at the moment. He, I think, is filling in for Craig, as I don't believe there is another Red Bull on the track tonight.
I don't think he's filling in for Craig. He was supposed to drive for a Mercedes when Digital was supposed to be not racing anymore, but then he came back. So he's moved seats to the Red Bull, I believe.
Ah. Thank you, Martin, for that information. So as we do have four cars still out on track. So we have Lucky, we have Trex, do have Bacon Yum as well, and Elite Ryan. And we do have...
As you say, that Trex comes into the pits.
Ah.
And so does Bacon Yum.
Yeah, so everyone now will potentially be putting on a fresh set of supers, as Digital has put on a fresh set of supers. I think he's just about waiting to go out. And as I say that, I do see his pit crew organising him as he's about to come out now. As we'll have 2 people
yeah,
out.
There's one of Mercedes boys.
Yeah, that is Digital that's coming out. As we have Optical G out on track and JJ Gamer, who's just ahead of Optical G. So this is the splits between the drivers at the moment. So at the moment we have BR Mr. Michaels with a 20.096. We have Bacon Yum on 28.4. Trex on a 28.6. Elite Ryan's in 4th with 28.9, then first of the 29s, which is JB Racer, and it's a 29.2 for Lucky, so very tight between Lucky and JB as they're coming up to start new laps. As JJ Gamer has just started his final couple of runs. Switch is in 7th with a 29.6, and we do also have Digital, who's on a 29.8, and Optical G, who's on a 1 minute 30, and we don't have anything from Legends at the moment, but I believe he will eventually set a lap time. We do have potentially everyone else coming out of the pits now.
Yeah, I think this is like the last opportunity really to start getting out the pits, go for a slow out lap, get the tyres warmed up, and then go for it.
Yeah. Mind you, it is quite a bit of a, I wouldn't say it's a massive track in terms of like, lap time, but in lap time itself, it's not actually that long.
Yeah,
as it is one of the biggest.
Good lap. You can set a good lap in qualifying. It's sort of a 1:28 mid that, unless you're quicker like Michael or so. And then I think in the race you'll see around the 1 minute 30s, maybe slightly quicker than that.
As we're on board, as we're looking at BST Digital, let's have a little run around with. Let's go with JJ Gamers. He's coming round in the Haas as he's about to finish his lap. Doesn't improve, 7/10 down on that. Lap time is set. So potentially must have lost a bit of time in one of the corners. As we do have more people coming out of the pits or starting laps, so we've Lucky that's officially on flyer, as we do see more people coming round. Bit of traffic in front of JB. It's one of the it was Legends. He was just getting out of the road of him on Hanger Straight there, and then McLaren. As I think, yeah, everyone essentially now will be doing their final lap if they've not started one as of yet.
Yeah, you might see a few people come across the line sort of 30 seconds, 20 seconds before the end. So they'll get one more lap in.
Yeah, as Michael just comes across the line now to start his next lap. His final lap, I should say. Can he go faster? Can anyone go faster than Michael? He's certainly got a fast car underneath him tonight, and let's hope we can actually see a decent battle between some of the midfield runners and all that, as last night we didn't really get anything of it, as we have yellow in sector 1. So someone's dropped it somewhere around the back of the lap. Takes a nice apex there, hits it beautifully as he's making a nice wide turn. Upshifts L into 4 to minimise traction loss, and just dumps the power. Up into 8th, come past the old start finish straight. Doesn't shift up into 8th until late as he's about to turn in. As he carries the speed through Maggots and Beckett. Such a beautiful sequence of corners. As he's coming out now of Chapel. Onto the back straight. Opens DRS. He's going to go.
Lucky improves to second.
Yeah, Lucky's up to second with a nice lap, 24. But Beckenham's still on a lap. Trex Electric's out, that's the one that we're missing. As we do see Michael come down in the last couple of corners. And he comes out the final corner, power down, and he goes quicker. It's a 27.9. He only made a couple of tenths, but that's pole at the moment if no one can go faster than that. Beckingham's coming up past the start finish line in a second. He locks up coming into the last couple of turns. And he powers down, runs a little bit wide. Is he going to do it? No, but he does snatch second away from Lucky.
Oh,
JG Gamer snatched it away. Can Elite Brian do anything? No, he cannot. And, well, that's your grid. BRI Mr. Michael takes blistering lap there, 1:29.27.906. He's 3/10 faster than Beckenham, and he is literally only 65 hundredths of a second quicker than JJ Gamer. Then it's looking fourth with BTS Digital, who made a decent run at the end there on the Supers to take fifth. Unfortunately, we didn't catch what happened to Trex, who's in sixth. JB's in seventh. Elite Ryan, BTS Switch. Masterclass G and Renault eventually did put in a lap, but I'm not sure if it was quick enough. And IGN Legends, I'm unsure why he didn't put a lap in. But that's your grid for tonight, lads. There he is. One that's made.
Yeah, so as we're waiting for people to retire or come back to the pit or whatever they're doing, all I'm going to say is very mixed up grid. I was not expecting Digital to be mid-pack.
No.
So that could create an interesting battle, him trying to fight his way up to the front again.
Yeah, but it should hopefully be an interesting race tonight, because Michael's got some pace. Bacon, if he can get the car to go where he wants it, then he can have some decent pace.
Michael may have been able to get pole with his car, but his setup might be more qualifying based than race based, which sounds a bit odd, but under heavy fuel you could find it drive a little bit different. So we'll have to see if there's any changes there, really.
That is true. So, predictions of the race. Who do you think's going to win it tonight?
Ooh, with the time gap, I want to say Michael, but if I'm gonna take a guess, I think Digital might fight his way back through.
Yeah, so some of the guys at the back, like Skyline and IGN Legends, may have it slightly easier, as they are starting at the back with, well, essentially fresh tyres, as everyone else will be starting on the compound that they did qualifying on. Top 10, that is, as per the rules. So, here we go. It's a nice dry race, as we're here on the grid, just waiting for people to select their strategy, what they're going to do in the race tonight, and potentially what they may do in the race. They may even do a on the fly wing change or something. Increase downforce, decrease downforce. But who might guess? As Master Optical G's unfortunately readied up a bit too early for people. So he may be
that
getting
could
a talking
induce a
to
penalty, as it is getting a lot more strict on there, on those kind of early ready ups.
After last night's incident with Guy Cunnington, yes, we don't know what the punishment is as of yet, but Skyline should hopefully pass word down to us.
Eventually.
Yes, eventually, as we go to 3, 4, 5 red lights here for the British Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away they don't go, as they went off a bit slow there, as we have
there's a laggy car,
couple of cars at the back there lagging, as we have Michael taking the lead into turn 1. Bacon Yum's all over the back of him as he's going to go for the dive to the inside. Bacon Yum makes the dive. Oh, there's contact and Michael's going round. Oh, he saves it. Saves it. Bacon Yum's in the lead with the Red Bull of Lucky behind him, with JJ Gamer just behind him. On board as we're coming
a little bit
down.
of a manic start with lag and a little bit of contact.
Oh, look, he gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for gaining 1 place for corner cutting. Not going to go now lightly.
No, so
Bacon Yum's
on his pit stop, that will evict him.
Yeah, sorry, car crusher there, but Bacon Yum was slowing out of Luffields. Potentially not, may have downforce the car doesn't handle. Is the start going wide a little bit round Cops, as BTS Digitals is in front of Michael, even though he got a tap at the rear. So he's not lost too many positions, Michael, but can he make... Oh, his Digital's just gone! Digital's into the wall! I just caught the last of that. I don't know if he grabbed what I did in qualifying yesterday, just grabbed to get the grass a little bit and straight into the wall. That's unfortunate for Digital. I believe it was his first race back. He may have done an appearance last week or the week before, I'm not 100% sure, but unfortunately it's not the way we wanted to see that happen, as Legends has got a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane.
That's an early pit. Bacon Yum is still leading this race after that by nearly a second.
Oh, unfortunately there's Digital in the barrier. Didn't quite see what happened to him there. As we see GB Racer, as he comes in, he goes onto the softs. What about... Oh, as Legends goes onto the medium. That's a surprise. It's a bit of a...
Could take those mediums quite a long way. I'm still not sure if they'll make it to the end though.
As we look at Michael, who was your pole sitter, unfortunately he's now down in 4th. It's about an 8 tenths of a second gap between everyone, which isn't too bad, but we would like it to be a little bit closer than that.
Yeah, we would like some battling somewhere. So if drivers, if you could pick up the pace a little bit here, that'd be nice.
Early days yet, early days yet. Strategies to come into this as we do see.
So so the incident with Digital seems to have been lag. From what I'm getting here, so that's rather unfortunate for him.
That is rather unfortunate, as he did make a bit of a decent start as well. There's a couple of people walking up into the final couple of turns as well, and that's not going to be good for Tyra. But as we see Bacon Yum setting fastest lap, as BTS Switch gets a 5-second stop go for speed in the pit lane. It is very tricky with the having to do the manual pit to get speed right down to within the green to be able to obviously don't get a penalty.
Yeah, this is quite a fast pit entry. I mean, I made the mistake yesterday as well. It's really hard to judge the braking.
As Bacon Yum has now got a 1 second gap, as that is actually coming down, as Lucky's trying to close into DRS zone. Potentially look for a way past them. As it's the same with JJ Gamer and Michael. They're starting to form a little bit of a train. So hopefully we can try and see something further back. We've got Trex in 5th, Skyline in 6th. These have had a decent start from the back of the grid. Oh, and both...
did you pick up on Switch being out?
I've just noticed.
About to say that, I suppose. So that's both BST boys out.
Yeah, that's not good for them, as... Where is he? He's at entry, just about to come onto the back
Elite
straight,
Ryan
as Elite
retired.
Ryan's gone. Dropping like flies now, as we have Michael going on the inside of JJ Gamer, as JJ does the cut back and gets it back. Is he going to lose 2 places? Trex is on the outside.
Trex is right there.
Trex is going to have the inside line for the next turn. Can Michael keep around the outside? Oh, he keeps his foot in it. Trex gets the position. Nicely done, Trex. Oh, Michael gets to cut back again. Trex is
he's down on the inside.
Oh, bit of lag going on between Trex in the session, but it's looking alright so far as we
let the battle continue. So the next driver now lining up Michael is Skyline, surprisingly.
Oh. Skyline isn't. He's closing up. Skyline is.
Might have damage.
He does have a bit of front wing damage, but he is closing up to the back of Michael's. Michael runs a little bit wide. As he's coming out through Woodcut now. Across the old start finish line. If the goes is Skyline going to try and get close to him? Not with that broken front wing, he's not. Has to back out of it. Try to take that Klopp's flat with a broken front wing is not good. Same with coming through Maggots and Beckett. You need to be so precise with it.
Yeah, you have to be so careful.
But he is still within DRS, so he's going to get it. As Michael's going to get it on Trex, but is too far back. As Trex again is
not sure what happened up front, but Lukey is now 3 tenths behind Bacon Yum. They're getting very, very, very close, in fact.
As we do go on board with, as we do go to the other shot of Lukey's, he is closing up behind Bacon Yum as they do go to start lap 5. As they come into the first couple of turns, as flat as you like. Do not lift. You don't dare lift as you give a couple of tenths to the car ahead. But this is starting to get a little bit tasty at the front. You may need to keep an eye on Trex and Michael behind as well.
Yep, I will
that's
keep
getting
an eye
quite
on
tasty.
those two.
As Lucky is in with DRS. He's going to catch that slipstream as well, very faintly, but that will start pulling him in a little bit. Also try and take the shorter line to try and obviously maximise as much speed he can take through the corners without going too wide. Tries to square off the corner. Doesn't work that much, but he's still there. They're 3.5 seconds ahead of JB, who's got Trex, Michael,
JJ.
Skyline, all of the back of him. Oh, as Lucky runs mega wide there, coming out of cops. Must be suffering from a little bit of understeer. Yeah, he's suffering from a little bit of understeer there. May I do a front wing change for that one? But he has dropped back from Beckenham, so all of that hard work to catch up, he has to do it all over again. Fortunately for him, but there is a 3-second gap behind JJ, but he has tricks all over the back of him. As JJ does make the pit. JJ is coming into the pits. So does Michael. Michael and JJ are now officially in the pit lane. None of them get a penalty, so that's a good thing. So, who's going to be the better pit crew? Is it going to be Haas, or is it going to be Sauber? It's going to be Haas, obviously.
Well, yeah, you would think so. But that does promote Trex into third, so see what he can do on these tyres now and see if he can make up any time on those two to try and keep third, really.
As JJ goes on to supers and Michael goes on to mediums, so bit of an alternate strategy, I would say, between the pair of them, but they're not going to get over.
JJ will have to stop again. Michael will go all the way to the end on those now.
I don't think the tyres could do it. He will. I think he may need to
go
for a short sprint of supers. That's what I think, but who knows? As they've kind of started to peter out a little bit, with Master Optical G now being promoted up to 5th, as Lucky's got a 3-second penalty for
another time penalty.
Track limits. Ooh. And he is just going to lose a chunk of time now to.
We also have to remember, if I remember correctly, Lukey got a 5-second stop go, so he's got to think about that on his pit as well. How much more time is he going to lose?
Got that to take, so he's going to take it now.
Or
no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
But again, he does lock that inner, that left front tyre up very badly. As Trex gets a 5-second stop go for speed.
Stop go. Oh.
So you do see people make their pit stops, and that promotes Skyline up into 3rd. Out of Trex. Partly Master Optical G's a lap down. Oh, Skyline just got pinged.
2nd.
That'll be for track limits. Very, very track limit harsh, this track. You just take your liberties a little bit too much, then you're going to get pinged.
It just seems to be this track, like, as much as this is many people's home Grand Prix here, people just seem to struggle around here.
As Michael comes out right alongside with Trex Electric, this be potentially battle for the 3rd place at the moment. Oh, Trex does the switchbacks.
To left, right and centre.
Side to side, wheel to wheel. It's going to be a drag race down the back straight. None of them have DRS. Is Trex ahead? Trex is just ahead, but Michael's going to try and carry the momentum to a cut back onto the inside. Does it nicely as he goes back to the inside. Can he power on quick enough? No, Trex dumps that power of the McLaren Honda, which is unusual words for me to say. But he is powering away from probably rich mix now, but Michael's going to tuck in behind him, stay behind him through Magnus Beckett's, as Lucky's being caught for speeding in the pit lane. So that's a 10-second stop go essentially he has. Is Michael going to try and make something of this? As Skyline potentially is going to go into 2nd as he does. Michael being rich fuel now, trying to close the back of Trex. Does he go for a look for the inside? No, he's not that stupid to go from that far back. So as both drivers made
has gone onto the mediums.
Yeah, Trex is on the medium, so they're both on the similar strategies. Michael cuts that corner a little bit there. JJ sets the fastest lap. So that wasn't too bad as he set the fastest lap as he was on his in lap there. So that's good pace from the Haas there of JJ. As Michael, I believe the setup's not working as he is starting to get closed in by Lucky and Master Optical G, who are on completely different strategies as well.
Well, Lucky's on a fresh set of mediums at the moment. Michael's just got a 3-second time penalty as well, so...
Yeah, he's been pinged track limits again, no doubt.
Oh, there's
is
that front wing damage?
That is front wing damage on Michael's car.
There.
I didn't really see what happened. He's going to let everyone go past. He's not going
to
try and
I think it was some lag between him and Trex.
Yeah, there was something there. I wasn't entirely in Trex's fault. Trex doesn't have any damage on his front wing at the moment, from what I can see.
That means Michael's going to have to do another pit stop, unless he tries to drag it out, but he's going to be very slow.
He's got too much wing damage. He'll be too slow as Lucky gets all out of shape. That's going to give Master Optical G the perfect opportunity to overtake him as Bacon Yum pits for softs and Skyline takes the lead. Very rarely do we hear that. Oh, as Lucky was getting all full in the mirrors there of Lucky, you saw there in the bottom left. But as they continue round, we'll have a look. Is Bacon Yum going to get out ahead of these guys? That's the question. Oh, here they come.
I think he will. I think he's pretty clear.
Oh no, he's not. He's been overtaken by JJ.
Does get him.
That is tremendous driving from JJ to make that time up from Bacon Yum's pit stop. As Trex picks up.
Definitely have another pit soon though. So.
Yeah, the guys that are currently running on super softs, if they've not made the pit stop already, yeah, it's going to be quite tricky. If Bacon Yum can take this to JJ and slow him down, Skyline potentially may get a free pit stop out of all of that.
Possibly. I mean, the thing is though, I think the tyre conditions of Skyline is just going to be quite bad now, and he's going to be losing time, so he'll have to think about pitting soon anyway.
Yeah, as Skyline is on Hanger Straight, as JJ and Bacon are coming round Hanger. Around Maggots and Beckett's. As Bacon takes the 3 seconds as he's been pinged for track limits.
Skyline's done another lap.
Yeah, just saw that as well. As we have Bacon and JJ, I think he's anticipating that these two are going to battle. As we see Bacon go up the inside, but runs wide, but does he keep the spot? Ooh, very close.
JJ is fighting back.
Oh, big lock up from JJ there. But if these two squabble quick enough, then Skyline could potentially stretch his legs out a bit.
I think at this point Bacon Yum might have it. The fresher tyres, and I think JJ's been... How long has JJ been on those tyres? I think that's the real question here.
I think JJ's been on them for about 3 laps. Oh, makes another big lock up. Not going to be doing the tyres justice though. But if Bacon and JJ get in a nice little battle here and potentially slow each other down, then Skyline could potentially get that that pit stop I was talking about, but he is losing too much time at the moment. I think he needs to make a pit stop this lap.
He needs to do the pit, get it done with and make up time then.
Yeah, as JB has came back in pits, as he has no front wing in front of his car. Michael has made another pit stop and he is now on his super softs. And that's your status at the moment. Skyline is coming down Hanger Straight, but he is losing chunks of time to Bacon Yum, who's on a much fresher set of tyres than he is. But I think he's going to slot.
Bacon Yum. Oh god.
Right, well, with Skyline coming out, he's going to slot in behind JJ, but ahead of Master Optical G, so he's going to be in 3rd place out of that, and that's not bad considering he has started in he started dead last.
Well, he's pitting now. So he did get a 5-second stop go though for speeding in the pit lane. So, it's
going to be close for 3rd place.
Time.
As Bacon Yum is most certainly going to take that lead back from him. Skyline's onto the mediums.
Well. Onto the mediums, which is interesting because I think it would be a push, but I think the softs could make it to the end. So.
Push though.
The push, but I think it's a risk worth taking.
And Skyline, as he's came out the pits, is in 4th, so he did get overtaken by Master Optical G and Lucky, which we didn't see that they were actually close with him. So see, this is battle for 3rd place at the moment. It's between Lucky and Master Optical G. as Master Optical G is looking to hunt down Loki and make a pass on him, as Michaels has set the fastest lap of the race. It's a 1:30.8. So we're starting to get into some of the slowest qualifying times from GP2 yesterday. So it's only just going to get faster and faster for him, but he will need to make a third pit stop, which he really wouldn't want to do. But you can see there's only, mostly everyone in the lobby has went back to mediums, so they'll potentially be just going straight to the end and hopefully not have to make another pit stop for any reason.
I think the interesting one to look at here is Bacon Yum. Can he make those softs last to the end?
That is a question. If he doesn't lock them up or spin up his tyres at the back, on my screen he has super softs.
Yeah, I think there's a slight glitch there. It does say he's on softs though, so I think he's on softs, but I'm not sure. If he's on the softs, the question is, can he make it to the end? And if he can, I think he can hold pole.
Hold pole?
If he's on those super softs, oh yeah, he'll hold it. If he can make it to the end, I think.
Oh, I thought you said he was on pole.
No.
No, I think if he does keep the tyres in decent shape, I think he could do it. As we do see some, not really much of a position change as of yet. There is a 3-second gap between JJ and Bacon. Another.
There's no real major battling going on at the moment, so it's quite quiet.
Not really. Skyline's in a bit of a comfortable window. He's got 10 seconds to IGN, but yet again he's got 3 seconds to Master Optical G. But Master Optical G is dropping back, I think, from Lucky. Or he's trying to get time back as Lucky makes another mistake. If Lucky keeps making these mistakes, it's going to cost him severely in the long haul. As of the moment, it's a bit stagnant. Everyone's made their pit stops, but they're just a bit too spread apart. Just
by the time, the closest is Master Optical G and Lukey, so with two different strategies. So it's kind of hard to tell where people are going to finish this race, to be fair, with these kind of different strategies going on.
Yeah. So there's your gap to leaders at lap 13. We're at the halfway mark. It's Bacon Yum. He's got a 4.5 second lead right now over JJ Gamer, who again's got a 10-second gap back to Lucky. You have Master Optical G, who's right behind him, as you can see on the screen right now. But then you have Skyline, who's a further 5 seconds back at the back of the picture there. And then you have IGN Legends, who's a further 10 behind him. Another 10 behind him again is Trex, but Trex is slowly getting caught by Michael.
Yeah, I think. I'm trying to hang on. Is Trex in? Yeah, see, Trex is in Ghost. I think that's what it is. I don't think he's actually driving properly at the moment. I think that's why he's losing time. I'm not sure if he's actually still in the lobby. He's Ghost, to be fair.
Yeah, he's going to get passed here by Michael. Michael's just coming out of Luffields at the moment. And Bacon Yum's just coming out of Woodcote. Legends gets another pink penalty.
As we see the Renault of Master Optical G going to the pits now to do his, what should be his final pit stop.
Yeah, he should go into softs and that should take him to the end. I think what Bacon Yum's going to do is stretch out his softs as fast as he can, then go into a set of supers at the end.
I think he might be able to make it to the end on those and not lose too much, to be fair.
Potentially.
He's got quite a gap. I think the ones he's got to worry about are those that are on the mediums now, like Lukey and Skyline, and he's got quite a gap to those. So as long as he doesn't make any stupid mistakes, I think he can risk going to the end.
Yeah, we're going to see some people that are the two stoppers making pit now. Is Master Optical G's in the pits? He's on mediums.
Comes out in 8th.
Yeah.
should take 7th here. But then it's going to be a job to try and get any more, I think. Maybe Michael when Michael does a pit, but...
Michael's going to have to pit again.
Oh, he's definitely going to have to pit again. So he might get Michael when he has to do a pit, but I think he can't really gain too much more.
Yeah, so at the moment the field is a little bit spread out as yeah, it's just went in a bit of a stagnant period at the moment as people have made pit stops and the such. So there's not really much action I can say that's going on at the moment.
Yeah, rather unfortunately, it's one of those quiet periods where everyone is doing their own little thing.
So what do you think of what's going to happen for this year after Massa eventually does retire? Who do you think is going to replace him? Because there has been some rumours in the rumour mill that Kubica has the seat, but nothing has been revealed as of yet.
I think those rumours might be true, to be honest. I think he will have the seat.
But yet, the same thing is, it's rumours. I would love it to be true, but we have no word on this. And I don't believe we will have word on this until potentially after Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I think it'll either be like the weekend of Abu Dhabi we'll get something, or it'll be during the winter break.
Most likely.
That we will finally have a decision.
Sauber haven't signed Verline or Ericsson again.
That's also true.
We already know that the two... We also know that the two Toro Rossos is set as is currently, which is Gasly and Hartley.
Gasly and Hartley, yeah. Which I think once they get their footing, could be quite a nice pairing.
Whilst we're talking about that, JJ Gamer's made his final pit stop. He goes onto soft tyres. Skyline has gone past him.
Was that fourth on the faster tyre, so he might catch Skyline.
Yep, so he hopefully doesn't have any dramas as IGN's is coming round. As Michael gets pinged for speeding in the pit lane, that's not really going to help his race after the disaster.
Oh, hang on, no, JJ's been taken by Legends.
Oh.
But he is fighting that one back by the looks of things. So...
No, I think there potentially may have been some contact or something there as...
oh no, Legends is
left.
That's why the thing was taken back there, I think.
He may have potentially lagged out the session. I don't actually know at the moment. If you can currently hear my dogs barking in the background, I do apologise. As Michael is now coming out the pits, he is going to be miles clear of JB, but he has a mountain to climb if he wants to try and catch anyone for some decent points today. Not been the race for him that he thought it was going to be.
No, I think he just had some bad luck, and now it's just not really his race. I think it's another penalty. Oh,
he must be pushing that car to make up so much time. As apparently he's only a second behind Trex. Oh, yeah, Trex is still
interesting thing. I'm not sure many positions are going to change at this point, because the gaps are pretty big. Even JJ on Skyline, he has a 12-second gap to make, and that's, well, not quite 12 seconds, but yeah, enough of a gap for it to be quite hard to make up at this point.
And remember, there's 10 laps to go now, as they're on their 17th lap.
It's gonna have to be like just over a second a lap of a catch. It's gonna be quite a hard one, I think.
I don't think anything's really changing from here. The only thing that could potentially happen is if Lucky or someone has a spin or disconnect, which would be rather unfortunate. As there's yellow flags in sector 3.
Flag in sector 3, yeah.
As JB is now
entirely sure what that is.
As Bacon Yum comes on to start laps, they start lining it.
Yeah, he's not going to be far off there. let's go by JB. JB's 1 minute 25 behind him, so another.
Oh, he's going to catch
like
him.
5-ish
He's going
seconds.
to catch him.
And yeah, and he should start lapping. So, as if you look at Bacon Yum, he is coming up to Trex's Ghost and ahead 3 seconds ahead of JB. So, Legends leads again.
Yeah. Wait, who was that that just left?
No problems there. Legends, he left once. I invited him back. He got back in, and he's just left again. So, the guy currently sat in 5th. So, Muscov to G's probably going to take him at this point. Yep, there it is.
So it's not been a good night
here's
for the
real
McLaren
question.
boys.
No, the McLaren boys haven't had a good night, really. But here's the important question. Will our GP2 driver, IGG Skyline, be on podium position?
Well, it has a big chunk of time between him and his teammate. So hopefully doesn't do anything stupid and just keeps it on the black stuff and just drive it home. Get her done.
That would be a really big surprise. GP2 driver podium in F1 League. But you have to remember penalties. That could change everything.
It potentially could as well. But back to what we were discussing is we're in a bit of a starting period. Nothing's really going to change apart from Michael just catching Legends and same with JB. But essentially, 2018, we have a couple of tracks returning. We've got Hockenheim back on the calendar as it does its yearly rotation with no one, as it was meant to be doing it with Nürburgring, but doesn't do it anymore. And we have Paul Ricard coming back for the French Grand Prix, which is going to be good. So Le Castellet is going to be on the calendar in 2018. And we're losing one of the greats as well, which would be Malaysia. Sad to see it go, really, because I love that track. I love that track so much.
Yeah, it's sad to see Malaysia go.
It is one of the best designed tracks, I think, in F1. Turn 1 is just so memorable. You see, getting tighter and tighter, then you drop down turn 2, and then just such a memorable track. Seen so many great battles over the years in real life F1, but potentially even better battles in the within the F1 community on the game. But it's going to be sorely missed. But hopefully they don't kill another track like they did with Turkey. But that was much full problems as Bacon Yum again gets a pinged for track extensions. These drivers need to watch, because if they accumulate too many of these, they will get
they will indeed get disqualified, and that would be a really shameful end to a, well,
yes, as I would all know too well from last night. So JJ has started to close that gap to Skyline. It was about 8 seconds. It's now come down to 7.2. With 6 laps to go, I don't think he's going to catch, but mind you, it's a 7-second gap now.
At 10 laps to go, he was ahead at about an 11-second gap. As I said, he has to be doing at least like 1.2 seconds a lap. At the moment, it seems like he's doing about a second. So unless he can start getting quicker, I don't think it's enough. As Legends is coming into the pits again.
It must be a scheduled stop for Supers.
Yeah.
I knew he couldn't take those tyres to the end, so I knew he has to make a stop at some point. But hopefully there's going to be some changes. Hopefully there's a little bit more of a crazier aerodynamic twist to the cars as they had done for this year. And my prediction was right, he did go into the Supers. But hopefully they can actually make crazier cars like they did back in the 2000s with crazy aero designs and all that to help glue the car to the surface. You need to remember, these cars in real life don't have traction control, ABS or stability control. They do have power steering though, which I don't think they really should have, but oh hey, I'm not Franz Tost, no, Jean Tot, should I say.
Yeah, get it right.
As Lucky gets another penalty again. corner cut. As Bacon Yum's made a pit stop. Bacon Yum has sacrificed first place and came in for a pit stop.
So he's got 5.7 seconds to make on 2 sets faster tyre. But it's gonna be. I think it might come down right to the end to take it. But who has more penalties?
That is the question. As JJ is closing that gap in on Skyline, it's now down to 5 seconds.
5 seconds with 5 laps to go. It could come right down to the end between those two.
This is going to be close for the podium. I'm not going to lie. Is it going to be a win for Lucky, or is it going to be a win for Bacon Yum? As we already know, these guys already have penalties. They've just been using the track limits a little bit too much, and they've been pinged multiple times for it. They're not just the only ones. I think everyone is essentially being pinged tonight for track limits or speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's had really a clean race as such. So, as I said, I just think it's this track. Many people seem to struggle with it, especially in this game with these cars. You would think it would be a lot easier, you know, flat out through certain sections, better aero, better grip, but it just seems like people just can't find the line or the gears or the speed.
News just in, the gap is now 3 seconds. JJ Gamer can physically see Skyline, and he'll use him as a marker to close that gap as he locks the inside right.
So, not only can JJ Gamer see Skyline, but Bacon Yum can now see Lukey as well.
Ooh. So we may have 2 battles on our hands. We may have the battle for first and the battle for third. It's all starting to unravel now.
Why can't this happen in real life?
I don't know. But mind you, I'm kind of ashamed that the way that Malaysia and Japan and Singapore, rightfully enough, went badly wrong for the Ferraris. Mainly Singapore and Malaysia, because they both didn't get any points at all.
Yeah, but if you ask me, that's all down to one of their own drivers. Like, especially Singapore, like mainly Singapore I'm talking about here. That's all down to one of their drivers, you know.
As Legends is apparently back, because he's now just set the fastest lap of the race, which I think is about.
I think it's too little, too late
by Bacon Yum, as it's now went out to a 4-second. No, it's not. It's a 1.9 second gap between first and second. This is getting interesting.
Getting tasty with what's that gap? Hang on, I've got it set to leader with a 2-second gap between Skyline and JJ as well. Oh, things are getting tasty indeed.
Oh, as JJ locks up both tyres at the front there. So as we see Skyline down on Highway Straight, he's getting caught quickly as Bacon Yum is catching quickly as well to the back of Lukey. So this is going to come down to the last few
1 second
laps.
gap.
It's going to come down to the last couple of laps of who's actually going to get this, because it's starting to get tight as Bacon Yum is closing in ever so fast on Lukey now. Lukey is a sitting duck with those mediums against Bacon. So I think Bacon's just going to power past Lukey in the next couple of corners and just pull away, as JJ Gamer is closing up now on the back of Skyline. It's down to a 1.5 second gap.
Oh, Bacon Yum's looking to take the overtake into the final sector. Oh,
he's going to try and go for a comeback or drive around outside. He's going to have the better traction. This is going to drive right around outside. But
oh no, he's going to be pushed wide.
Forces him over, but he's holding his line. He's holding his line as he's intended to do so. As Bacon Yum's backing out of it a little bit. He's not looked for a lunge there, but realised he was too far back. Yeah, he's going to have him now down the DRS straight. Oh, he goes for that side. There's a bit of contact as he gets through and takes the lead. As JJ picks up a 3-second penalty, so that may change the game for the battle for third place. As we're looking on board now with JJ. He's going to be pushed. He's got to be pushing that car to its absolute limit to try and close this gap down. Is Lucky going to potentially
come... Both drivers as well.
Yeah, so Team Autos potentially could come into it, but I don't think they're going to have any. They're just going to battle out like they should do as drivers. Go for each piece of tarmac as much as they can. But he has closed that gap down to 0.6 of a second. But he's going to try and get him down into at the end of Chapel. Not Chapel, Club. Fail, I can't remember. As he's right up the back of that gearbox of Skyline.
We get DRS as well.
Yeah, he's going to have DRS, he's going to just power past, but Skyline's pushing him towards the grass. Holding his lane, he's going to have the inside.
He's holding the inside line.
Sweeps past him around the outside there.
Sweeps it.
Absolutely nice overtake. So that demotes Skyline to 4th, but you need to remember, with 2 laps to go now, JJ Gamer, I should say, sorry, should try and, well, needs to pull away because he has a potential extra 3-second time penalty ahead of Skyline. So he needs to try and maximise as much time as he can now.
He needs to be doing what Bacon Yum is doing on Lukey, pretty much, put in that gap, because Bacon Yum now has a 2.4 second gap, so that could, if he does enough more in the next couple of laps, be enough, but...
Yeah, so the only positions that really could change at the moment, the only 2 positions that could change at the moment is 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place and 4th place with penalties potentially. 1st and 2nd would potentially swap, and 3rd and 4th would potentially swap. But we don't know at this moment in time. But Skyline just has
based off track.
Yeah.
Based off track, this is the positions. But
yeah, as it is at the moment. It's Bacon Yum who's heading down to potential win at the moment. As we are about to go on to the last lap. Because at the final quarter, start the final lap here at the British Grand Prix. We're in Silverstone for the final time as we are looking at Skyline, who's still trying to keep that gap towards JJ. As JJ is coming out of the final turn as well now. So Skyline would potentially be just putting this car in rich mix not to make any sort of mistake.
Oh, JJ's locking up a little bit as well.
Yes, yes he is. As he does have Skyline just behind him, still only a 2-second gap, or near enough a 2-second gap, but that should hopefully try and stay that way, but we never know. As we look on board now with Bacon Yum, as he's coming down to finish the end of this race, comes through Magnus Beckett's coming up for Chapel. Slides the car a little bit, so on the power nice and early, gets up through the goose in the 6th and the 7th. I think potentially just putting that in the rear as Michaels gets another 3-second time penalty, which is unfortunate for him. He's not had the best of races today. Started on pole, got a bit of a bump from Bacon Yum, so that potentially may be questioned by the stewards. As from turn 1, essentially Bacon Yum has had a bit of a battle with Lucky, but chased him down. Made a late pit stop, but it came out in tops as he crossed the line to win the British Grand Prix as Lucky is coming over the line now in 2nd. And JJ has a 2.7 second, 2.6 second gap to Skyline. As JJ comes round the final corner now to take 3rd at the moment as Skyline comes over the line now. And no, the top 4 positions don't change. They're top 4 as they are. That's with penalties included as well. As Master Optical G is going to be taking 5th. Beyond Mr. Michaels, who was your pole man, unfortunately, with the incident turn 1 is going to be 6th. JB is going to take 7th. Legends will be 8th. And Tricks will be 9th. And that is how your order finishes. Elite Ryan retired early on the race. Same with Digital and same with Switch. As we get these guys in now to the comms box, and please include your audio, gentlemen. Much appreciated. As we'll have one of them in. Oh, we don't have any mic from Bacon, which is unfortunate.
Ah, okay.
So that makes things a little bit harder than they are.
I guess we're just questions to those that do have mic.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate.
As we need to get Kate and Matt.
Yeah, I have invited them. Not sure what's happening here. I mean, if we can't get those in, what we'll do is we'll probably get a couple people that we could ask some questions to.
JJ will talk for thingy. For Bacon Yum. You see him there on the podium taking his trophy.
Bacon.
That is the winner of the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. As we get JJ in now, all we need now is
Lukey, but
join.
I'm not sure where he is.
So lads, don't forget, include your audio. Unfortunately we can't obviously hear Bacon Yum. Let's... Who'd you say would the driver of the day be?
Driver of the day. Do you know what? If we're going position games, Skyline.
I would also agree,
actually,
but not just.
I would just give it to him anyway.
Yeah, because he did make a decent stop. He did a one stop actually. I didn't even notice that. Lucky and Scanlon both did a one stop. Everyone else did two stops. Interesting. So that is. So
yeah, and he's a GP2 driver, and he nearly made podium. So
yeah, it's quite nice.
Yeah, would give driver of the day there.
Yeah, definitely. If we can hopefully get Lucky into the party, then we can obviously go through it with him.
I am attempting to, but he doesn't seem to be joining.
Right, okay. So, well then, we'll all have first and third with us. We could try once more if we can get JJ in with us. Sorry, not JJ, Lucky. Hopefully we can get him in, then we can talk to the lads and get their thoughts on the race.
I'll send one more, but after that...
Yeah, I've just sent him a quick invite as well.
After that, we'll just speak to whoever we can.
Well, unfortunately, that would be just JJ, as Bacon has said to me that he's going to be having... He's going to talk for him, so... Alright, fair enough, man.
I mean, I could speak for Bacon Yum. I mean, I am team owner, but commentator biasness here.
No. Dirty scum. So, the race itself was a very good race. So, Bacon Yum, what was your strategy on the race? Because there was a bit of an incident in turn one. So what happened with that, first of all? That's going to be a long-winded message, I can just feel it.
Yeah.
But, so there's a bit of a lock-up that caused the incident with Michael. Okay, that clears a bit of it. So... That's unfortunate. There was a bit of a lock-up as Michael obviously broke a lot earlier than he thought he was going to. So yeah, that was interesting. Turn one. So the strategy, were you planning on doing that two-stop, or were you going to go solidly with the one-stop? Fair enough. Well, unfortunately, we can't get Lucky's opinions on his race. Oh, I have just received a message from Lucky. Why are you inviting me? Oh, he's not got a mic either. Okay, if I knew that, then okay. That's why I wasn't joining.
Yeah, we knew that. Right.
So unfortunately, we can't get the thoughts from Lucky. Well, JJ, I must come to you then. The man. You denied your team owner and teammate for tonight, Skyline, a step on the podium. Don't get me wrong, it was a very interesting close down. We were watching both close downs between, from yourself and...
Apparently, I was just saying, JJ, can you just check that your audio is included? Because according to digital, you're not.
Oh, right, well, then, you'll need to repeat... You'll need to repeat what you said for, Bacon Yum, unfortunately.
Okay, so essentially, for the incident with Michaels, he locked up into turn 2, which is why there was contact. And Bacon had planned the 2-stop, knowing that he'll be faster towards the end on the super softs, which is actually what won him the race in the end.
And for yourself on the race, your strategy, were you planning that as well, or did that just come naturally for it?
It really came naturally. In the first stint, I was in P3, I believe. And I knew that I had to get the undercut, so I came in on the super soft tyres to just try and get past everyone, which I did. I had quite a big gap on Lukey, about 9 seconds, and I was just ahead of Bacon. But unfortunately, my super softs got quite worn, so Bacon got past, and when I came in for softs, I knew that it would be between me and Skyline. Yeah, that was my strategy for the race, really.
Yeah, do you think you potentially may have left it for Skyline, or did you really just want to get that step on the podium?
As much as, you know, I respect Skyline as a racer and obviously my team owner, I wanted to get the place on the podium. I had the pace, I was third in qualifying, so I knew that as long as there wasn't, you know, any incidents, that I'll try my best to make the overtake, and it stuck, which I'm really pleased about.
Yeah, well, it was a very interesting watch to watch the race at the end with Bacon Yum closing down on Lukey and yourself closing down on Skyline. It made it for very interesting because you had to swap between both of them to watch as much as we could. But unfortunately, that's going to do it for tonight. We have Bacon Yum who won the race tonight. Congratulations to yourself, Bacon Yum. Unfortunately, can't obviously get back to us, but yes.
Bacon says thank you. That's 2 podiums in a row.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations to Williams on the win as well, and we'll catch you next week at Hungary with the GP2s on Thursday. Michael and Craig should hopefully be both back in the box by then. But until then, it's goodbye from JJ and Bacon, if Bacon can hear.
Goodbye.
Well, that's both of them anyway. It's goodbye from Martin.
Bye-bye.
And it's goodbye from myself. We will catch you guys. Me and Martin will catch you guys again next Friday night at 7 for F1 at Hungary. And Michael and Craig will catch you next week on Thursday for the GP2s. So, we'll see you guys then. Goodbye.